This story is Haunted Washington. Welcome to my first series where I will explore haunted locations here in Yakima, Washington. Some I've investigated, some I want to investigate. Here we go. The first one on the list is Northtown Coffee House. Now, Northtown Coffee House, I haven't investigated it. I've always wanted to. I've been there. It used to be the old railroad station, main depot here in Yakima, Washington. So I got married in Northtown Coffee House in one of their little conference rooms by a judge, and then I've been in there plenty of times. And every time I go in there, I pick up, especially in the back end by the conference rooms and the stairs, a group of people coming up and down the stairs. There's always a male there that he's just kind of there watching over the place. It's almost like a guard type energy. He keeps on bringing me back to the 1920s and 30s with him. There's also another of other entities there, and I've heard a lot of stories about Northtown Coffee House over the years. Next one I want to bring you to is Fort Simcoe. This is in the White Swan, Washington. Fort Simcoe is over on the Yakima Nation. This is back in the 1860s. There was some sort of dispute between the Yakima Nation and the U.S. Army Corps, creating for them to build this fort. So it's a place known for bloodshed, tragedies there. I didn't go inside this house, but I have gone in and investigated some of the other buildings outside of there. Like there's no guard station, army quarters there. There's a lot of residual energy there. So I feel like if somebody went there at about the right time, when there wasn't a whole lot of people, they might hear kind of like whispers, kind of like shots going off. They might hear kind of people just talking, especially in the army barracks part and the old jail, not the new constructed jail, but there's an older jail off to the side of the property. Next one on the list is the Capitol Theater. Yes, I have investigated the Capitol Theater there, and there is a infamous spirit there by the name of Shorty. Now, Shorty, whenever I connected with Shorty, and we did get some evidence of in the Capitol Theater, I think Shorty in his story is a lot of misunderstood. He is there, he's kind of a caretaker of a place, but also we were investigating on the stage, and we had spirit box, and we were talking with a lot of different entities that were kind of like the old vaudevillian actors, and they were there because this was a time in their life that really loved it, and they were happy in that part. And so we have great pictures of orbs, and a lot of people that our team that were there. You can see the orbs are touching the people, and people are kind of reacting to it, but they're not seeing it at when it was happening. But the picture did catch it, including one of our former team members who basically was a law enforcement officer at some point in their lives. So kind of the more logical side of things. But yeah, Capitol Theater, definitely a lot of things going on there, especially up at the right hand corner of the building upstairs. And we went upstairs, and there was a lot of great old interesting history there. Now, my favorite place that I have investigated is the Yakima Sports Center. For those of you who don't know, but upstairs in this like little area up here used to be an old hotel back in the early 1900s when Yakima was getting settled. It was an old theater, and then it turned into a hostel, kind of like a hotel, and where it stayed like that for a number of decades. As a matter of fact, one of the people on our team was an old beat cop in the 1970s, and he recalls a lot of kind of shady things going on upstairs that he was aware about. But we have a lot of great intelligent kind of communication there going on. A lot of spirits that we're touching, doing the touch lamps, communicating with us directly, setting off our EMF detectors. There is one spirit here that I really do like, that she was just kind of funny. She doesn't like to be called a prostitute, more of a lady of the night. That she also doesn't like cussing, but she's got a wicked sense of humor. There's also spirits that travel between here and the Capitol Theater because they would perform there and then stay here. So there's a lot of activity going on upstairs, also a lot of activity downstairs. We do have some evidence of that as well. So if you're ever in the sports center for a period of time, you're going to experience some sort of activity. So that concludes this episode of Haunted Washington, specifically with Yakima. If you have any stories of the paranormal, any kind of like experiences in any of the above locations that I have mentioned, please comment down below, like, share, and tag, and we'll get this going.